everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
Alright y'all, so here I am again, back with another video, and I'm gonna tell y'all how my high school basketball coach took me to his house after an away game and slept with me when I was 16. So when I was in high school or whatever, I ran track and I played basketball, and I was really good at both. I was an athlete. Like when I tell y'all straight athlete, I was only focused like on my grades and my sports or whatever. So my mom worked or whatever. She would get up every day like 4 or 5 a.m. and my mom wouldn't get off work until about like evening time. So she had to beat traffic. My mom probably would make it home by 5. My mom was the type of mom that was like, okay, if you have to go to tutoring, if you have to do any other extracurricular activities, etc., you're gonna have to find your own way home. Period, point blank. I'm not giving you a ride, I'm not picking you up, none of that. If you can't catch the bus, like, I don't know, you got to find your own way home. That's how that started. So you know, I played basketball from like 5th grade up. So this was, I would say I was 16 because I graduated when I was 17. So this had to be my junior year in high school. We had a new male basketball coach, whatever. And you know, everything, it was normal at the beginning, right? So mind y'all, I'm very, I don't want to say grown for my age, but I was very mature at a very young age. So I was experiencing a lot of stuff. I went through a lot of stuff. So me being 16, like I knew how to hold a intellectual conversation. Like it wasn't just like, oh, I didn't have like a bird brain. I'm not even gonna say that. Let me scratch that. I didn't have like a childlike mind at 16. At 16, I thought I was grown, and not in the sense of like being fast, but I was just mature. Like I'm not like the rest of these girls or whatever. Like I'm more advanced than I should be, honestly. So we had got a new basketball coach or whatever. First impression, it was like, okay, he was normal. Like, you know, y'all in school, you know, girls or guys, they'll see a teacher, they'll see a coach or whatever, they'll be like, oh, they fine or whatever. I never really looked at him like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just so focused on my grades at school, I really didn't look at him like that. So I'll see, you know, on and on in the season, you know, I didn't have a lot of rides. So he knew that, and I was like one of the star players on the basketball team. So like obviously you want your star player or one of your star players to make it to practice and make it to the game. So he started giving me rides home after the games. So I can't even tell you, I'm pretty sure that was not legal. I don't know if coaches are able to give, but anyways, I digress. He ended up being my ride home after the games or whatever. So yeah, so it was one after away game. I think we were playing like Kimball or somebody. Like I can't remember what school, or it could have been no, I forgot what school we were playing, but that's besides the point. So anyways, like I'm gonna go back. I'm not gonna tell y'all about that. I'm gonna tell y'all how everything led up to this point. So obviously I was not, my senior year I think I was captain. Junior year I was co-captain. I always started in the games, obviously, because I was that girl. But anyways, that's not about that. So I would have to get the keys from him to go to the locker room or the ballroom to, you know, get the balls and get everything set up for practice. So, you know, this day it was just like a normal day. I'll go to him like, hey coach, like whatever, can I get the keys, you know, set up for practice or whatever. So he handed me the keys, but he could like kind of like rub my hand like when he gave me the keys or whatever. And that was when I knew like, okay, he on a different. So mind you, like when me and him would talk or whatever, we'll be in a group setting, like I would see him like giving me the eye and stuff, and like it was just very like, I'm not even gonna say innocent because it was kind of known. Like I kind of felt like he was like feeling me. Like it's weird to say, but I kind of felt this like tension. And so that was the first time he actually like physically, you know, like touched me. So I got the keys or whatever, I ignored it. The next day or two or so, like, you know, we had practice again, so I'm always the one setting up for practice. So I was like, coach, can I get the keys or whatever? So he ended up doing it again. And y'all, like, it came to a point where we was just doing that for a little while, and I actually started to reciprocate. Like, I was like, you know, I was like, when he would give me the keys, I started rubbing on him too. So it was one point, like, I had went to go get the balls or whatever, and he followed me into the room. And so, like, we had like a washer dryer setup type of deal. And I was in there like getting, it was a game day or whatever. So yeah, I remember like it was a game day. You know, I had to go put the jerseys and everything in the washer, make sure everybody jerseys, make sure all the uniforms and stuff is clean. So I went there, he came in there after me or whatever. And like, you know, I was bent over getting the jerseys out the dryer. And like he came in, like he like brushed his, you know, up behind me or whatever. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's crazy. So it wasn't this particular game, but that was like the second big, you know, physical interaction that had happened between us or whatever. So I'm not gonna say it wasn't that game day. It was probably like the next away game. You know, he had to take me home. So I guess on the way, like he was just basically like, you want to come back to my apartment? So I'm like, I mean, I guess, like, I mean, my mom, you know, she think I'm at a game or whatever. She don't know when my games are over with, this, that, and the other, whatever. So yeah, y'all, so we end up going back to his apartment. Mind y'all, like around this time I was 16, so I lost my V card at 14. I had just had my first sexual encounter with a guy at 16. I think it was 16. I actually, like, you know, had with a guy on my, you know, on my own or whatever. So he was probably like the third guy I ever slept with in my life. So we get to the point, whatever, he makes him a drink. He asked me if I want to drink. Mind you, I'm an athlete. I didn't smoke, I didn't drink, I didn't do nothing. But it was just like, you know what, like whatever. So he ended up making me a drink. Y'all know what ended up happening after that. Like, whatever. Like, actually, he took a shower, I took a shower. And then, you know, we was just chilling. Like, baby, just grown. Like, and back then, I'm thinking like, oh, it's normal. No. So yeah, I'm thinking like, well, I was flirting with him, like whatever, I'm being grown, you know. I think I'm not gonna disclose his name or whatever, because this was like, it doesn't matter how long ago it was, but obviously I'm 29 now. This was like I was 16. So yeah, so if you was to Seagoville, it was only one male coach at that time, around that time. So if y'all do know who it is, just don't say anything, because it's like, I'm not making these to like air anybody's business or anything like that. I'm just speaking my truth and like just telling y'all about all the stuff that's happened to me, like seriously. But yeah, so at the time I'm like, you know, ain't nothing wrong with it. Like I wanted to do it. But it's like, it goes back to like how men prey on you, like him knowing my situation with my mom, knowing that, oh, I'm not gonna have no ride, like him like, oh, we're spending more and more time together. So it's like he's feeding off of this, my weakness or whatever. So yeah, it's just like at first, you know, I'm telling him my situation. I'm like, yeah, I'm good at basketball. I want to play basketball. I've been playing basketball, obviously, all middle school, almost all high school, whatever. And I'm telling him like, I'm not going to be able to make practice or this and that. So obviously, you know, it was out of genuine help at first. And then it just went from one thing to the next. And so it's crazy because I actually forgot about this incident up until like, I mean, I forget about it and then it comes back on and off. But when I sit down and I think about all of the things that's happened to me growing up, it came across my mind yesterday, because I was like, I really forgot about that. I was a junior in high school, 16 years old, and this 30-something-year-old man took me to his apartment to sleep with me. Somebody who's supposed to be a male role, like my coach. So like a lot of people are gonna, for one, growing up, everything that happened to me, I used to hate my mom. Like I used to despise her, because I felt like every time something bad happened to me is when she wasn't around, especially in my younger years. So it's like, if my mom was picking me up, this is how I used to think about stuff. I always blamed her. If my mom was picking me up on a regular basis, I wouldn't have to ask this grown man for no rides, like, period. Like, and it's just like, dang, I'm always put in like compromising situations. And genuinely at the beginning, I wasn't even on that type of time with him until he like was like, okay. So then I was like, okay, but it doesn't make it right at the end of the day some people probably blame me. Oh, you were being fast. You were doing this and that. But at the end of the day, I'm a 16-year-old girl. He's my basketball coach. And he took me back to his place and slept with me. Like, that's crazy. But yeah, y'all, like, he didn't like force himself on me or anything like that. I'm not making this to that extent because it wasn't really like that. But at the end of the day, it's like being an adult. And my 16-year-old's basketball coach took, like, oh yeah, it's going down. And no, I didn't tell my mom until I was like 25. I never said anything. I told like a few of my friends. I told one girl that I was playing basketball with. I told my best friend, but and I don't know who they told. I wouldn't know. But it's like I told a couple people, but I was just like, whatever. Like, I did what I did, like, whatever. But now being grown, it's just like that was just another man preying on me. Like, the third man I ever slept with. And then it's so crazy because it hurt so bad. It was not enjoyable at all. Like, I started to bleed. It was just a big thing. Like, but yeah, it's like being an adult now, growing up. I don't blame my mom anymore. I've forgiven her like a long time ago because my mom didn't abuse me. You know, it was all these men and stuff. But this is just my life. And no wonder why I'm so, like, I don't trust anybody. I feel like everybody's out to get me. I'm always in my head. I'm always overthinking. I'm always questioning every fucking thing because of all this trauma. Like, I've had some really good boyfriends, y'all. Y'all know I'm married, but me and my husband's situation is different. But I've had some really good boyfriends, and I just self-sabotage, don't believe they really love me, just out to get me, da-da-da-da. But yeah, y'all, there's just another story time of how I was used and abused. But hey, I'm here. I'm alive. A little crazy, but I'm alive. Okay, y'all. So first off, I want to start by saying I'm looking at these comments on my last video about the situation with my basketball coach. And first thing I want to say, some of these comments are ridiculous. And the fact that there's a lot of women defending this man is crazy to me. Because at the end of the day, whether I wanted to or not, or I knew better or not, I was a 16-year-old girl preyed upon by a 30-something-year-old grown man. And it's men in the comments, which, men, y'all never cease to amaze me. But it's just the fact that, how do y'all feel like that's okay? I just don't understand. I will never understand that. So let's get into these comments because this is crazy. So there's a lot of people saying, oh, 3 bodies at 16, you were fast, blaming me. Y'all love to victim blame. So let me tell y'all this. The first person that I ever had a sexual encounter with raped me. And I hate that TikTok doesn't allow me to say what I need to say, but my dad took my V card when I had just turned 14 years old. It was the summer going into my freshman year of high school. That was the first person I ever did anything with. And I hate to make it sound so like whatever, but I'm almost 30 and like, yeah, the stuff still bothers me, but I'm just trying to be straightforward and blunt and honest about it. My dad took my V card, point blank, period. I ended up sleeping with a guy like twice after that. Mind you, I was going through so much at the time. Like, I didn't even know much about that in particular. So yeah. So my basketball coach was the third person that I, had an encounter with. So y'all having this outlook on me as if, oh, I was just fast and I was just doing this and this and that. No, that wasn't the case, because if it was up to me, I wouldn't have lost my virginity, period. Like, and I don't like how y'all steady trying to make it okay. And I did that for so many years. Even when I told my mom, I was like 25 when I finally told my mom, and she was furious. And I get it, but I was still psychologically like, no, I wanted to do it. Even if I wanted to do it, and this is for you bird brain, you know what? I said I wouldn't even go back and forth. So I'm gonna just address this and keep it pushing. Even if I wanted to do it, I was 16 years old. There's a thing called statutory rape. So just because I consent, I was still underage. So I could say all day long, oh, I was mature for my age. I was mature for my age. And I knew what was going on. I never said that I didn't know what was going on. And it's a lot of y'all in the comments like, oh, you were going. You knew what you were doing. I never said I didn't. Like, let's just make that clear. Even if, like I said, if I wanted to, it doesn't change the fact that there was a grown man in an authority role, my basketball coach, who took me to his house, gave me a drink. No, I don't drink. Obviously, I'm 16. Like, I don't know what other 16-year-olds doing. There were so many kids doing so much. That was way more advanced than I was, even with all my trauma and everything. But you gave me a drink, and you did what you did, and we, whatever the case may be. And it wasn't just an awesome experience. It hurt, and I bled, and it was very traumatizing. It was very traumatizing for me. A lot of the questions y'all kept asking, like, did everything go back to normal after that? Yeah. Like, again, I tried to pretend that it didn't happen. I avoided him at all points. I don't know, like, it just felt weird. It just felt weird. We had like a few more games left in the season. I played, just pretend everything was, normal, went to practice, whatever. It wasn't like super awkward because I think it was just like a mutual understanding. Like, I didn't want to do that. Like I said, it was very traumatizing. After the fact, it felt wrong. I knew it was wrong. I knew I shouldn't have been doing it. But at the end of the day, it's like, it happened. I said I would go to his place, whatever, it happened. But yeah, we just both tried to pretend like it didn't happen, pretty much. So that's for everybody who keeps asking, like, so did you continue to play for him? I did continue to play. I finished out the season. I graduated. We never. And for everybody who says I be all over the place in my story times, I have ADHD, and sometimes it's hard for me to like focus on one thing at a time. So I do seem like I'm all over the place. So I do apologize for that. But yeah. If you can't lock in, don't lock in. I'm using my platform to speak my truth. At first, it wasn't like I was trying to out him. I didn't really even expect my video to blow up like this. But there's people who already know who he is or whatever. I went ahead and posted his picture in the comments. And at this point, his name is Diedrich Bogard. Coach Bogard. Period. There was a story about a coach at what is it called? Hold on. So somebody had messaged me, and I'm not going to disclose any names because there was quite a few people that messaged me knowing who he was, because it was a school, what is it called? Moss Point High School in Mississippi. So there was a coach there who was sleeping with the girls or whatever, got caught, got 25 years in prison for that, and they were friends. Crazy work. There was multiple girls messaging me how he, was being inappropriate with them and was at this last school. So it's like he left one school to come to another school to be a predator still. So it makes me even more upset that I wish I would have said something back then. But I was literally going through my own trauma with the stuff that happened with my dad, with him doing what he did to me. I was experiencing so much at this time. I wasn't in my right mind at the end of the day. I was a 16-year-old girl fighting demons, literally. Like, so much going on. At the end of the day, it's like, I'm going to continue to speak my truth. I don't care about being judged. I'm almost 30. Like, I'm not about to get in the comments with y'all, go back and forth with y'all, because I didn't want to do that in the first place. I'm using my platform to spread awareness, to speak my truth, and that's just what it is. This year, I told myself, like, I wasn't holding back anymore. I'm done protecting pedophiles. I'm done protecting predators, and I'm just over it. Like, I've been preyed upon my whole life, and I'm just fucking over it at the end of the day. So y'all can get in the comments, y'all can have y'all's opinions, but it's not going to faze me, and it's not going to stop me from speaking my truth. And, helping other girls, like, be aware. There's girls that's in my DMs right now going through what I went through, scared to speak out because of these roles that these men are playing in their lives, and it's sickening. Like, it's really sickening. So, I'm looking, it's so many comments, for starters. Sorry, y'all, I'm sick. So many comments, and I'm going to just address a couple of them. The relationship with my mom is better. We talked about it. She was upset. She wanted me to report him. I was still in a protective state, I guess. So I didn't. I was telling her I wanted to do it. He didn't like take me in and like my dad did. Whatever. It's just it's so many freaking comments, and it's so many people like. At 16, though, I mean, you were not a baby. 2 years away from being a legal adult. How did you know right from wrong? It's stuff like that. It's like 3 bodies by 16 is crazy. Y'all not even keeping up what I'm putting out. Literally. Like, and it's just so many people judge me in the comments, which I really don't care. But it's like, I pray that y'all never have daughters. I pray that y'all never have sons, because women aren't the only ones who get preyed upon. So yeah, like I said, I posted him in the comments. I gave y'all his name. Everybody wanted me to like, it's whatever. Like I said, I'm done protecting. I'm done.
Yeah, man. What it do, everyday people, man? It's your boy PJ. We back, lit live with a live video. And yeah, man. I didn't know this story was real. I didn't know if it was, I mean, I wasn't just going. She got a lot of traumatizing stories. And I was just like, I thought it was like maybe one of those channels that read off everybody's traumatizing story. But nah, this is really about her. But anyway, here's this guy is still a teacher to this day, and this is a picture of him right here. It says, this is from the school. The school says, we are writing to inform you of an allegation made on social media involving a teacher at McKinney High School, Diedrich Bogard. The accusation is from a former student of 13 years ago in another district. The former student alleged that Mr. Bogard engaged in a sexual relationship with her when she was a student. The safety and well-being of our students is our highest priority. Upon learning of the social media post, Mr. Bogard was immediately placed on administrative leave pending investigation. We will continue to follow the district's protocols to comply with legal requirements, and the incident was immediately reported to the Texas Education Agency State Board for Educator Certification and the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services and the McKinney Police Department. We are cooperating fully with law enforcement and are committed to transparency as this case develops. So, yeah. Yeah, crazy situation. And the fact that he's still doing this is even worse. That students are reaching out to her after seeing her story is even worse. So, prayers out to this girl. I know she going through a lot. This may be overwhelming. When people put out their stories, they unintentionally want them to go viral. They just don't know which story it will be that goes viral. And this is in the Dallas area, so Dallas Fort Worth area, so McKinney, Texas. I think this is I want to say north of Dallas. Anyway, it's one of the metroplexes, one of the little spots around the Dallas area. But yeah, I don't know where McKinney is. I don't think I ever been there. But I guess that don't matter really. He's still out there, and he's still being a predator. And it's sad to say that, like, this is what you got to worry about as a father. I'm her father obviously wasn't worried about her well-being, seeing that what he did to her. But as a father with daughters, and I be telling my daughter, hey, we've had a talk about what she posts on social media. I know that's not gonna be like, oh, she posts a sexual pic on social media, let me take her panties. Like, I know that's not let's not go there. But it's just the invitation. You know what I'm saying? Don't even put it out there. Don't get these men, these little boys aroused, you know what I'm saying, to think that they could sit over here and try to, do whatever they're gonna do. So then you gotta have enough people around you to be able to talk to. You got counselors, she got aunts, she got a grandmother, hell, her mama. If that's the damn case, you could talk to her mama, but she got to talk to somebody. I know she talked to her mom and she talked to my sister, which is her aunt. So in that case, you got somebody to talk to if you ain't just gonna come in because you might be afraid of what I'm gonna say because you know what I'm gonna say. Somebody getting up today, okay? But also like counselors. I think a couple of my three of my kids see a counselor every now and then. You know what I mean? Just cause these kids they need their mental health checked because all of them crazy. But if you got somebody to talk to, it'll be helpful, especially as a single father. Yeah, and these daughters be man, they don't really be they don't really be picking up what I be putting down. And then I be worried about, how I come off on when I tell them stuff because I be like, I be trying to be nice about it, but I be like, listen, don't let no man grab your chest area, okay? Don't let no man grab your crotch, okay? It's a violation. Teachers, coaches, nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just uh even even I go to the fact of finding her a woman counselor. You know what I'm saying? It's stuff you got to do to protect your daughters. You know what I mean? You got to protect your daughters. But I guess I don't know. Women could be predators too. You know what I'm saying? But you know, we trust women enough. But then again, they could be predators too. You just got to teach your kid when to say no or when to speak out. Because the fact that she didn't want to speak out because she thought she was probably like, because of the violation from her father, she probably like leaned into older men for some nasty something that she can't explain that she you know she just can't wash it off. You know what I'm saying? Probably that old smell of cool water cologne that probably just got her all you know. I'm just thinking about what it could have been that made her some traumatizing that make her just want to it's just nasty. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it is what it is. But thank you all for joining in. That is my live for the night. Yeah, I know. I don't know. I don't know how easy it is. I'm not gonna say it's easy. I just know it's just like you just got to do what you can to make it be known that it's okay to let somebody know. And I talk to them all the time. I talk to my kids all the time about that. Bosses, my oldest child and my 17-year-old. You in a work area, it's certain things that your bosses should and shouldn't say to you. You know, it's a line that there's an invisible line that they can't cross because they're your superior. You know what I mean? And don't think that they're gonna be like, oh, let's just keep it between us. Let's meet away from work. Or dog, it's hell no. It's still crossing the line. Okay, just cause y'all meet outside of work, don't mean it's still not affecting your current situation. But they wouldn't know that because people who are predators been predators, and they gonna continue to be predators because they know who to prey on. This woman didn't have no ride home from basketball practice. She was preyed on. He knew that, and so just because he knew that is the reason why this was happening. She was probably venting to her teacher, so to the teacher, so knew that she was an easy mark. Of course, yeah, she was telling them all the, she probably didn't tell them about the essay from her dad, but he picked it up, and then as he tested her, and she didn't pass the test. She should have told on him, but she didn't know. Like I said, she probably at that point was looking for that from older men, which is we think is nasty, but you know